Welcome, listeners, to our first episode recap of Loki. And of course, there was only one person we could kick this off with. And it is the fabulous, most amazing Amanda Martini, who has done how many? Oh my god, you're holding a cosmic cube!
Hello!
You didn't even show that to me! Listeners, we've been talking for like 30 minutes, and this bitch just whipped out a cosmic cube out of nowhere.
So, hi everybody, it's me. You know me, you love me. Or you don't, whatever.
If you don't love her, get out.
Get out!
Get out of the timeline.
So, funny story. So, I wanted to tesseract a cosmic cube for this cosplay because, duh. And so when I went online to find one, they had like a legit, like from Marvel Tesseract thing. It was $80. $80.
Is that a steal or overpriced?
No, that's super overpriced. $80 for a cube that glows. This right here that I purchased was $15. And do you know what else it does? It fucking changes colors. This one changes colors.
Girl, you're changing the color of the cosmic cube. What are you doing?
Look at this.
Oh my god.
Now, obviously, to have it be the cosmic cube, it's going to be blue. But so this is a child's nightlight that can cycle through the colors as they sleep or whatever. $14. And guess what? It still looks like the Tesseract. So you're welcome.
Darling, you look absolutely fabulous. For those of us who are just listening, for those of you who are just listening on the podcast, Amanda is Lady Loki.
You know, a little goddess of mischief.
Is that the fur from your Maddie cosplay? Did you snatch that? Did she snatch that from Maddie?
First of all, just like she snatched Wanda's body and Sif's body, for that matter, when she was Lady Loki back in what was that? 2005?
Yeah, that was a minute ago.
Yeah, a while ago. Which is a totally messed up thing to do. But you know, whatever.
Well, what was the story? It was
she had gotten trapped in Sif's body, or like stole Sif's body and put Sif in like an old woman to die because Loki's a terrible person. I know everybody wants to love Loki, but Loki is a terrible person, especially in the comic books. Then because Wanda was missing, joined the Avengers, or had to put together a team of Avengers as Wanda. And then they found out that it was actually Loki in disguise in her Lady Sif body.
You look so beautiful.
And then it wasn't until later when Loki joined the Young Avengers as Team Loki that we really find out that Loki's kind of like, gender, meh.
Well, even in this episode, when they flash his file, they're like sex fluid.
I mean, and we'll get into a little bit of what I think later. We'll get into like the episode, and then I'll talk about what I think. But I'm hoping that they make it a little more like, and not just like a flash on a computer screen, or like, oh, this little promo image thing. I hope that's like, oh no, gender is stupid and completely arbitrary. So like, I don't care about gender. I want him to actually say that on camera.
I think they will. I don't know. After Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I'm hopeful that Marvel has a good ear to the ground on everything that's supposed to happen. Look, I feel Falcon and the Winter Soldier is a little behind the conversation, but they still came to the conversation. Yes, you know what I mean?
Especially for, comic book TV show that's just supposed to be fun and not political. When were comics political? When Captain America punched a Nazi? Like,
well, I hate it when I get trolls DMing me being like, "Stop being so political with X-Men." I'm like, have you ever read an X-Men comic in your life?
Like for real? Like, do you not know what the Superhuman Registration Act is?
Yeah, or the Mutant Registration Act.
Yeah.
I don't know. The fact that the X-Men are a minority that are protecting...
Or the government actually trying to hunt and destroy an entire minority of people.
I mean, the literal first episode of the X-Men animated series, and we've spoken to Eric and Julia Leewald, the government, the US government is the enemy.
Yes.
Like, I'm sorry, the X-Men are political. You don't like it? That's fine. Not your cup of tea.
Yeah,
Move
but
on.
it's still the X-Men.
But it's the X-Men. That's their narrative.
Part of it, but yeah, so Loki.
So Loki, wait, so tell us about this cosplay. How did you assemble this cosplay?
So okay, kids, don't come for me, but I do shop on Amazon.
Audible gas.
A lot. So like a lot of my pieces are just like Amazon pieces that I put together. So like the dress, the cape, all the fur pieces that I got, the necklace, like all my jewelry is all Amazon. Because it's relatively cheap, it's easy, it gets here. But yeah, I have a cape that's sort of, you know, I don't really need it, but I needed it because, you know, she wears a cape.
I would love to see you in a cape IRL.
I mean, I even got like little rings that like I smashed up and like put in my hair.
Oh my god, you braided your hair.
Yes, because she has like hair decorations.
She does. Oh my god. The dress looks so great. It
is legit just like a mother of the bride dress, but it works.
Shut up. So, no, I was gonna say it looks very YSL. That dress, that green dress they did, you saw it on all the queens. Like, well, I want to say last year, but not last year, like 2019.
Yeah.
Looks
sorry, I have because I have a fan on my face because I'm literally melting inside my room.
No, you have a fan on your face because you're Mariah. Don't lie.
Because anyway, so the headpiece I purchased on Etsy from a 3D printer. Their name is Parton Prints. So like I think a lot of people either have this same design because, you know, a lot of people, they'll just like put a design up on Etsy and then anybody can have it. So I don't know where that particular 3D printer person got the pattern. So it could have been from anyone, but he was the one who printed it and sent it to me. And then my dear, lovely friends, Jason and Erica, who do a lot of fun, crafty and video editing stuff for me, resin coated it and then painted it.
My God.
It's super cute. I love it. So like the horns were not attached when I first got it. So I had to like glue those on first, which was festive. I guess it ships easier that way.
What kind of glue did you use to glue it?
I used E6000. Okay. Excuse me. E6000 is like, yeah, like cosplayer drag queen. Like it's like super glue that sets overnight.
Okay. It looks great. You look absolutely flawless. How long did it take you to get ready?
So I mean, aside from like a couple of little breaks that I took to like, you know, so it typically takes me about 2 to 2.5 hours to get ready, depending on like how complicated my eye look is going to be. Because usually like to get like my face done, like foundation, contour, highlights, and like bake, usually about a half an hour. Like that I can like bust out really quick.
Okay.
It's the eye makeup, which is, you know, the real decoration of the face that takes the longest. So like I wear typically anywhere between 4 and 7 colors of eyeshadow.
Shut the fuck up.
In
really?
any given look. Even so, like for example, Michelle Waffle, she asks me all the time how I do like my Jean Grey makeup, and I'm just like, girl, it's just green eyeshadow. And then I was like, actually, it's 4 different colors of green eyeshadow. So like even something as simple as like what I do for like Jean Grey, or even like when I do Dazzler, when I don't do the star, when I just do the blue eyeshadow, that's still 3 colors of blue, white, and white glitter.
Oh.
So and then of course black eye, you know, the white under eye, eyeliner, which eyeliner takes forever because it's, first of all, it's big. But
I had a phase when I was 19. I wore eyeliner. I think it was called guyliner or whatever it was called. Mm-hmm. I know. It took me like 20 minutes to apply.
Did you do the pencil and the smudge?
I don't remember what I did, to be very
Or
honest with you.
did you wear liquid? Were you one of those girls?
No, I definitely didn't wear liquid. I definitely had the pencil because I think of the scene in Clueless where she's doing her eyeliner, and I remember doing it and thinking it was like so cool. But like, no. Anyways, I get it. Eyeliner is a bitch.
But also, I absolutely hate doing eyebrows. And now that I know that this headpiece sits a little lower than I thought it would, I know that I don't ever need to paint eyebrows on again when I wear this.
Oh, you're right.
Which is great because eyebrows also take me a long time because I hate them. I hate eyebrows.
Oh my God, I do too. I hate my eyebrows.
Well, you have very nice eyebrows.
Thank you.
So
I was fishing for that.
So anytime I can do a look where I don't have to do eyebrows, like if I'm wearing like a heavy bang or like Dazzler with the starburst, I'm like, she doesn't need eyebrows. She's got all kinds of glitter and fantastic. She doesn't need eyebrows. It's like anytime I can do that, like when I did Boudica from the Green Lantern Corps, I was like, because she also wears a headpiece, but I was like, oh, I should do eyebrows because whatever. And I'm like, she's an alien. She doesn't need fucking eyebrows. Like, just do like some fierce, crazy, eyeshadow and wear a headpiece. Like, eyebrows are lame. I hate them. It's also why
eyebrows suck. But wait, you said when you do her again. So are you? I know this personally, but our listeners may not know this. Are you getting ready to go on the con circuit again? Are we going to be seeing this look?
No. So here's the thing. So conventions are opening, and currently I'm only officially going to Blurred Con, which I know we've talked about before on the podcast, and that is July 16th, 17th, and 18th in Arlington, Virginia. I'm super excited. So me and my bestie, Dax exclamation point, are going to be there, and we have a whole weekend of matching looks. It's on the spreadsheet. Lady Loki may or may not come depending on because like Dax really wants to wear her Hellfire Gala Storm, but I don't have like an actual Hellfire Gala look, and I'm not, and I already have 2 other very large projects to get done before LearnCon, so I'm like, I can't make a whole new cosplay. Like I can't. It needs to be something simple. So I think I'm gonna end up just bringing either Lady Loki or like my X-Men training suit and just like whatever wig I got, because it can be anybody.
I think Lady Loki will look really good with Hellfire Gala Storm. I think it would match.
Yeah. But if you are in the DC area and you don't want to wait all the way until BlurredCon, Lady Loki will also be making an appearance at Tallboy Bar on Monday, June 28th, which is the last Pride Month happy hour drag show at Tallboy in Northwest DC. So it's hosted by Logan Stone, who's one of my drag sisters. And so I've been booked to perform. So Lady Loki is getting a number as well.
I just put that on my calendar.
Yeah, as well as Jean Grey.
If you're doing Jean, I'm definitely showing up.
Yes. So I'm not going to tell you because I really want you to be surprised. But I have like a little something that's like funny and super entertaining and very Jean to happen during my Jean number.
You're gonna faint. You're gonna go and faint.
and maybe be fainted for like the last 45 seconds.
Jean got a lot of LOLs on Instagram because in the Mark Brooks Inferno promo, she's fainted in it. But I think that is a sign that Madeline is coming back.
I don't know. I really feel like this whole Inferno thing is really going to be just like what was the other thing that they like brought back the name, but it really didn't have
Fallen Angels.
Yeah, didn't have anything to do with that. So I really think that it's like a callback, but not like. I really just think it's going to be Mystique just like fucking shit up and literally setting the place on fire.
Fair. I feel that like it's happening because we have so many hints with Alex talking about Maddie. He can't let go. Our favorite himbo can't let her go.
Oh, no, he can't. I mean, first of all, he can't let anything go. Why? He's so bad at being an X-Man. Like it's like he can't let Madeline go. Like before, it's like he couldn't let Lorna go, but then he could because Nurse Annie.
My God, I love Nurse Annie. I have
I
a
don't
lost.
know why.
I have a lost episode with X Reads and House of X where we talked about Nurse Annie for literally 30 minutes, and it was supposed to be a grateful end of the year, Thanksgiving, I'm forgetting what it was, episode. And literally, Nurse Annie took up like 30 minutes of that conversation.
She's
Oh, but you remember that period in my life because
right.
your first episode, I lost it too.
Got lost as well.
Yes. Okay, wait. We can talk about the X-Men and everything for hours.
We're
We're here to talk about Loki. Sorry. Okay. So what were your first impressions on Loki compared to WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Well, so I very much am enjoying the fact that all three shows are very different. Mm-hmm. Like they have a different kind of setup, they have a different vibe, they have a different aesthetic. It's kind of like comic books where it's like, yeah, you have like this book and you have that book and you have that book, and they all share the same universe, but they're not the same. Like they don't have to be like that same formula, that same kind of, same kind of like superhero movie. And I'm here for it. I love the fact that it's going to be kind of like a cop procedural show, but not. I like the fact that it's different. I like the fact I really like the setup of the episode where it's like, what you're like, wait, what's going on? But also like the fact that obviously like the most powerful people in like this sort of like dimensional universe, it's a bureaucracy. You need to take your number. You got to fill out a form. You got to do, because and even that one guy when he was like, I'm gonna gut you like a fish, and he's like, what's a fish? He doesn't know what a fish is. He's literally been doing this.
I know, like literally, you're in charge of like fixing like the multiverse and making sure there's one timeline. Yeah, like, and you don't know what fish is?
No, because he knows his what. Okay, so again, my sort of like in my head when watching the show, the people who live in like the TVA dimension, no. Unless there's someone like a Owen Wilson character where they actually get to like travel and like investigate things. If they're just stuck in the office, they only know about the one function that they serve.
That's true. Know what I mean? Like, fair.
Because there's no reason for them to know anything else. They literally sit there, take your number. Take your number.
Take your number.
And ask them questions. They don't know because all they know what to do is take your number. Like they don't know. They don't know.
But you know what I mean? The one thing that I thought was so obvious with this episode that I was like, oh, it's the individual versus the universe. Like the universe is this cold mathematical equation operating under one uniform equation. But then here's the one variant, and it's Loki, and he's going to prove his individualism rises above the mundane, everyday doing.
Well, but every show, I mean, you can take any show, any movie, any theater, any art, and boil it down to one of those like universal, like sort of like lessons or whatever, because that's what makes it relatable to an audience. Because like it doesn't need to be like, ham-fisted to us, but it's like we feel it somewhere where we're like, oh yeah, they are an individual and their individuality is what makes them so special. But we don't, but we don't necessarily like say that at the end. You know what I mean?
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly. But I feel this is what makes Loki different from Falcon the Winter Soldier as well as WandaVision, because it's literally him versus the universe. And I'm curious, what was your impression of this first episode compared to the other shows? How do you rank it? I
mean, I still liked WandaVision the best. Well, again, so far, like, because also I like Wanda. I mean, sorry, this is bothering me, so that's coming off. That's bothering me. But because also it like WandaVision, especially in like those first few episodes where it's like, so again, as someone who like read has read comics and is a fan of the shows, all that stuff, like I knew what was happening. Like I didn't need to wait until episode 4 or 5 or whatever that was to find out like what was going on. I'm like, yeah. She's created her own universe where she's living her life as a fantasy because she's had a really terrible life. Like, duh. Whereas like I had friends being like, Did I miss something? Did I miss a movie? And I'm like, no. Just
When everyone was like Mephisto, I was like, no, it's not Mephisto. It's her. Like that is the point of Wanda.
So like WandaVision is still like my favorite. Again, we'll see what happens in Loki. Maybe something else will, happen, and it'll be super cool or whatever. But I appreciate that it's like the three of them have been created very specifically to be three different types of shows in order to. Well, so not so much because Bucky and Winter Soldier was supposed to have come out first, and like that was just sort of like, okay, we have this sort of like going thread and we need to wrap it up in the same vein of like all of the Captain America movies where it didn't have anything to do with Mind Stones or time travel or anything. It all had to do with like the U.S. government and Shield and all of that stuff. Like, I appreciate that. Like that just sort of like took that thread and kept going. WandaVision was something very different and very unique, and it was very risky in my opinion as a kind of a show that
Agreed.
Really doesn't make sense until 5 episodes in, and it wasn't like you got the dump of all of them at the same time. You had to keep coming back, and I think it worked and get people really interested in what was going on, and then why is she doing this, and people being like confused or like, who are these people, blah blah blah. I really enjoy that, and I like that Loki is a mystery as well, but also taking a character who is obviously not a good person but had this great like kind of redemption arc, and taking him out of that, rewound him to a point where he still wasn't a good person. And it's like, oh, by the way, we still need you to be like that good person that you were, but you don't know it yet. So, but because we need your help to like solve whatever this mystery is, who, as we find out at the end of the episode, is another variant of Loki.
Well, yeah, I mean, I thought the exact same thing. It's like they want to maintain that sassy, villainous Loki from 2012, and now they imbued him with all the memories. He literally, it's like when Teen Jean downloaded, I'm sorry, everything goes back to Jean Grey on this podcast, when she downloaded the memories from Beast of her adult life, and it's like, okay, well, now she has everything. I agree with everything you just said. The thing that I liked about Loki a lot, and we're going to get into it momentarily, is that it set up a lot, not only for the series, but I think for the MCU at large. I'm convinced Secret Wars is coming. Sorry, I cut you off.
No. I was waiting for you to end, so that way I could. So wait, who do you think is coming?
Secret Wars.
Secret War.
The multiverse and
the potentially. Yeah. So obviously, I mean, even just from the tease of the title of Doctor Strange and all of the rumors that are going on about Spider-Man, like we know that something with like alternate realities was happening. We all thought that it was going to be Wanda because none of us really knew what they were going to do with Loki. We knew that a show was coming, but we had no idea what it was going to be about. So I was actually sort of like intrigued, being like, oh, so this is going to be the show that talks about the multiverse.
Well, Michael Waldron is a creator of Loki, and he's one of the writers for Doctor Strange 2.
Oh.
So right there. So they're doing, and they have the line where it's like, if you are a variant, you create a nexus, and that will create a madness.
Right.
Yeah, it'll create a madness. And the timeline will be blah blah. I think Secret Wars is most certainly coming. Like, how could they not do that? How?
I mean, but like, what do you mean, like Secret Wars? Like, do you think that they're all going to go to an alternate dimension and fight each other?
No, I think it's going to be more like Hickman's Secret Wars, like where
the less good one.
That's right. I mean, I don't know. I think they'll do a hybrid because I think Kevin Feige is really smart. And he will do something like the original where you'll have all these characters and they'll all fight and Colossus will hook up with like the local alien girl.
Her name is Zsaji.
Oh my God, I totally forgot her name until you mentioned it right now. And I love how he totally cheated on Kitty.
Okay. Hold on. So many factors go into this. Okay. Number one, as like the Kitty and Piotr shipper, because I love them. They're my OTP. I love them forever. I know it was creepy. I know it was weird. Listen, it was a different time. Different things happened. I know tons of people from an earlier time period where like they got married when she was 16 and he was 21. Like, I know it's like whatever, but like, again, people used to not live past their 30s. Like, people used to get, anyway, whatever.
Mom got married at like 18. My mom literally graduated high school and then got married.
Yeah. So, I mean, listen, whatever. I know that he's supposed to be like 18, 19, and she was like 14, 15. Kind of gross, kind of creepy. But it's also like he was like a senior in high school and she was a freshman. That kind of stuff happens all the time. Apparently, people who don't think that, I'm like, you didn't go to high school. I don't know. But it was mandated that Colossus needed to break up with Kitty because like they were definitely like, yeah, this is kind of creepy. We need to not have this happen. So that's it. But the other part of it was like, if you when you actually read the comic book, like everyone fell in love with this character. And first of all, she didn't speak English, so she had literally no agency in the book. All she did was heal people, and people immediately fell in love with her. And then everyone assumed that she was then interested in them. The theory is that her powers, when they heal them, they just have a connection to her. And so the humans, because they're humans and not whatever alien race that she is, assume that feeling is love, when really it could have just been, listen, I healed you, so like a part of me is like with you. Like,
oh, I love that.
Whatever. But like, those are her powers. Because what would happen is she would use her powers to heal people, and then like these idiot boys would just like fall in love with her. It's like, that's not her problem. But
no, it's not.
And then she eventually sacrificed herself to like heal everybody and like bring them back to life or whatever. And it's like, so she had no agency. She was a complete plot device, as most female characters are. Like,
this is true.
Like, to be honest.
Especially during that time period.
Yeah, but so like the whole like Colossus didn't cheat on her. He just finally realized that he's too old and needed to wait until Kitty was older.
Okay, fair.
Like that was kind of the thing where he's like, oh yeah, like this was like an adult thing, and you were definitely not an adult. Because even on like the Claremont run, I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop there. Everybody, go do your own investigation. Build your own opinion. But I am going off about something that is not at all related.
No, listen, Amanda. We know who we book for this show. Trust. So, listeners, I usually have like a call sheet with every question I'm going to ask, an episode outline, and then for today, well, A, I've been traveling like a madman. Yeah. B, I was like, it's Amanda. We're not going
to talk about stuff. But I'm dressed like Loki, so we keep coming back to it.
Yes, look at your Loki. You look beautiful. You look so beautiful. But anyways, wait, let's dive into the episode. Let's get into the episode because I think we have so much to talk about. And listeners, if you typically listen to this podcast, you know we always provide an episode summary. I felt those were a little, I don't know, stagnant. I wasn't really feeling it for Loki. So I actually have Disney Plus up. And I'm just going to go through the scenes. And because I'm with Amanda Martini, I'm just going to pitch and let her bat. So we open up with a recap of what happened with Loki vanishing from the timeline where he gets a Tesseract, which we saw in Endgame. And the only thing I noticed about this, Amanda, and I was curious if you did notice this as well, it's a different take from what we saw in Endgame.
So it's a different camera angle, yes.
Well, and also the way Captain America says, like, when Chris Evans delivers his line, it's more robotic in this one than the one that happens in Endgame as well.
Is it really?
Yeah, it doesn't line up.
Like I knew that everything was at a different camera angle, but I was like, well, that's because we're getting a different perspective. We're meant to now look at other things instead of what we saw before. Mm-hmm. And if you're like me, something that you watch like every other week when you're styling wigs.
Stop.
I do. Listen, if there is not something in particular that I like want to watch or, whatever, because like when I'm styling wigs or like working on cosplay stuff, like I can't be distracted by the show. So it has to be something that, like I've seen or that I know. So that way it's like still entertaining, but it's not, I don't need to like pay attention. Mm-hmm. So the best thing, I mean, because listen, styling wigs and stoning stuff and, it takes multiple hours. So what better to do than watch Infinity War right into Endgame?
There's something about Infinity War and Endgame that I can just have that playing in the background and I would feel so I just feel so good about it. I don't mind it at all. Anyways, I agree. Anyways, continue.
But yeah, so like because we're now meant to look at different things, and as any person who knows like movies or theater or whatever, like if you have a good director who is the outside eye showing the audience what it is that you are supposed to look at and what you're supposed to pay attention to, I like the fact that it was different. It wasn't just, oh, we've already shot this, let's just reuse the scene. It was, no, we need to be looking at different things. And because we're now using Loki as a POV character, some things that are from his actual point of view in this scene, because he was an afterthought in that scene until the cosmic cube came out and he grabbed it.
Yeah. But it most certainly is a different take for Chris Evans. I'm forgetting the line he does, but Chris Evans is a little bit more robotic, like we have to do search and rescue, whatever he says. I thought it was so great because if you're one of like the few people who did not see Endgame, like, hey, go watch it on Disney Plus. Like it recaps everything nicely. This is that Loki from that timeline. And then we end up in the what desert was it? Was it the Gobi Desert?
Gobi Desert.
Gobi Desert. And he crashes on that, and it's the same as Iron Man 1 when Iron Man lands on the desert. And I only knew that because I'd seen Iron Man 1 on a flight recently. Let me just see that. I was like, oh shit, that's a straight homage to that. And there's another podcaster or YouTuber, excuse me, that was saying it's like, this is the tale of an arrogant man who's going to become more human for us. And I think we did get Loki becoming more human, more fleshed out as a character throughout the movies. But 2012 Avengers Loki was not that character. Yeah. So now I like that little nod that they do. And they seem to be doing that a lot with the Disney movies, or excuse me, the Disney Plus shows, where they like to homage other things they've done.
Well, of course. I mean, because it's also comic books and they're all self-referential. And, fair enough. I mean, listen, how many times are we going to see the Days of Future Past comic book cover?
God, I love that cover. I love that cover so much.
Or even the same pose, Scott holding Dark Phoenix, which is also the same thing as Superman holding Supergirl in Crisis on Infinite Earth. Like
there's someone
everywhere.
Someone did a history of that. I don't think it was either was it Dark Phoenix or Superman holding Supergirl that originated that image? I don't think it was.
It probably wasn't, to be honest.
It's someone else who did that.
I know them from.
But I have to. Like, I've thought about that cover.
It's also just like, a classic image in general.
Yeah. So we see the time variance authority show up in the scene, and like it's insane. Like they see Loki, and one of the things that I noted, and I'm curious if you saw this too, they're holding like a little like iPad, like whatever thing, and it's showing like the seconds counting down to when the timeline will hit this red line, and they literally apprehend Loki in that second.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I mean, then when we see it later, because obviously at first we don't know what that means, but then when we see it later, it's like, oh, they only have a certain window of time to get it in before it then becomes a bigger problem. Which is very, very interesting to me.
And one of the things that I noted, and it took like 4 watchings of this episode to like finally get it, is that one of the policemen are holding a stick and it is purple. And then the 2 behind them, it's orange. And orange, later on in the episode, we'll see, is what they use to erase people from a timeline.
Oh.
And purple looks like it's to neutralize or reset like something, because I think when they have like a little bomb that goes off in the scene and they like reset the timeline, it's purple. But it's purple, like she has a purple one, and then the 2 behind her have the orange. So I'm wondering if they're like, oh, well, if this variant becomes like an issue, we're going to erase him, and that's it. Fuck that.
Interesting. I did not notice that.
I know. It's because I've been watching this like on repeat. Because
I watched it once.
Oh, don't worry. That's as far as it goes with like my noticing on everything. But yeah, so she like apprehends Loki. She like hits him and slows down time and he's feeling like all that pain and then she grabs the cosmic cube or the tesseract and then the other soldier he comes and he resets the timeline and what I noted about this scene and it's only because again this is the same person, the creator of Loki, is also writing Doctor Strange. The bomb goes off and it's purple. And are they reversing time? Because that was a big thing in Doctor Strange 1, where purple magic was used to reverse time.
Look at you.
I know. I didn't like my work today. I didn't just get drunk and show up on this podcast.
You like research stuff. And like I was going to talk about the show, and you're like, no, the color purple.
The color purple. Can we talk about the color purple for a second? But like, I'm confused by that. Like, what did you take from that? Like, because like we don't really get to see it. Like, all that happens is that like the bomb goes off. Oh my god, I love your fan so much right now, listeners. She has a hand fan right now.
Listen, there are 4 fans going off in this room. It is hot. I'm warm.
Okay, so the bomb goes off.
Yeah,
and we don't see it. So, do we think the timeline just got reset? It.
So yeah. So I think the whole thing is that well, so like my because I guess they have like that point in time that like they have to fix stuff. But I was wondering how come they just didn't take him back to where he escaped. Like that was my what?
I agree with you.
Yeah, like if you need to reset time, like why don't you just throw him back and then hit the button because then he's there and reset.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand why they didn't just take him back there.
But that makes me wonder because that moment of him taking the Tesseract is like the nexus that like is the offshoot. If time went back to that point and he did not take it, but then I'm like, but if the again, here's where I'm gonna say what I say all the time: drink for trying to make sense.
Yes. Okay. That's right there.
Like at the end of the day, when it comes to time travel stuff and like all of those things, and also comic books in general, sometimes just go with it. It doesn't need to make 100% sense. It's fine. Just
how was it Agatha all along? I still don't get that.
Listen, it probably was just Agatha. Just move on with your life. It's not going to be that big a deal. So here's the thing. Either one, they're going to address it and it's going to be made clear what it is, or they're not, and you're supposed to forget about it. So those are your 2 options. Either wait for them to talk about it or forget about it. Like,
okay, there's
like don't obsess about it.
There's one thing I'm dying to ask you.
Okay.
But I just want to address really quickly. I'm looking at the episode as it's happening. So if I sound like I'm distracted, it's only because I'm looking at the episode and not on Demanda, who looks absolutely fucking beautiful. There's a scroll in the TVA lobby. So we know the scrolls are coming. I think Secret Invasion was announced as a Disney Plus show, like blah, 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 blah. We all know that. But when Mr. Tom Hiddleston gets naked in the elevator, how hot was he?
I mean, okay. Listen, he's a very attractive man. He's very attractive.
Do you think he's attractive?
I think he's attractive. Listen,
He's never done it for me until this scene.
Oh, it's because he was naked? Sorry. For those of you just listening, I rolled real hard. But here's the thing. Regardless of what I'm currently wearing, I'm not a huge Loki fan. Like I find that like people who like latch on to like villainous characters and like in a way that it makes them popular, so that way people have to like they're forced to make them anti-heroes. Like for example, Venom. Like Venom didn't need to be a hero. Venom didn't need to have any sort of like redemption arc. He could just be a villain, and that's fine. Loki, who is literally the god of chaos, it's fine if he's just a mess.
The god of chaos.
And is bad and does bad things. I don't need any other stuff. Now, great, has Loki in the MCU in particular become like a character that I'm like, oh yeah, he's fun, he's fine. You know, whatever. I of course wanted to do a Lady Loki for a while just because she's a lady and she's huge and she's got fur and hair and a headpiece. And as we all know, I love a stupid headpiece. Like, I wanted to do the looks. I wanted to do the look. Not necessarily because I think the character is great, because as we said earlier, when Loki looked like this, he was a dick.
Yeah.
Like, he's not a good person, especially in the comics. He is just a bad person. And then, because Loki became popular in the MCU, they decided to turn him into a teen and put him on the queer superhero team, which of course everyone's going to love because everyone loves queer teens. Everyone does.
I love that read right now.
Anyway, Tom Hiddleston is attractive, but I'm not like, ugh, Loki, and Loki's my no. That's not me.
I feel like, especially at the end of this episode, we're gonna see that he's supposed to be succumbing to whatever. Like, he has this life-changing moment that he sees his mom die, and you're like, oh my god, I need to be a better person. And I'm the Loki that died at the hand of Thanos at this point. I disagree. I think he's going to be playing Morbius. Like, he's playing him, and he's playing the entire situation, and we're going to see that he is villainous still. And I like characters being villains. There's nothing wrong with being a villain.
There's nothing wrong with, or even like in the X-Men comic books, I did not need Apocalypse to be like this. Oh, I'm so cool and I'm on the superhero team. And like people be like, ooh, Daddy Apocalypse. No,
I agree.
Terrible person.
I agree so much. My note when we were covering Ten of Swords, which listeners you can watch when this on season 1 of this podcast known as Generations of X, we covered Ten of Swords, and my main note was, they're trying to make Apocalypse like Thanos, that he's very sympathetic and he has this love from, I don't know, generations past. All of a sudden, like, no, Apocalypse is an asshole. Like, survival of the fittest. Yeah, that's his thing.
He literally kills people. When he got put in charge of Earth, he culled the entire Earth.
He tried to drop a nuclear bomb all over America.
When he finally got put in charge, and there was the Age of Apocalypse where he was in charge, he killed everyone. And even though he was dead, his influence still continued to kill everyone. That dimension does not ever get a happy ending. Ever.
No,
ever.
Not at all.
Continually is bad, and it just gets worse.
So 2 things about the next scene that happens in Loki. One,
Tom Hiddleston does have a great set of abs, and I'm sure he worked very hard for that one scene.
Oh, I know. Oh God, he looked really good in that. So the next scene, he drops through the floor, and there's a cat there, and I don't trust cats anymore.
Neither do I, which is so funny that Dax is like one of my best friends.
But I saw the cat, I'm like, you're not fucking cute. Like, I saw Captain Marvel, like, shut the fuck up. But then this guy like pushes like this like stack of papers, and he's here like, this is everything you've said and signed that you said it.
Okay, that shit was funny when he's like, what? And he ran out.
The gag was hysterical. The only thing that took me out of that scene was I was like, that stack of papers. I'm like, really? That's everything he's said? Like, he's literally a god that's been alive for like centuries.
Like in 7 type fonts.
Okay, like really. Okay, fair. Okay, in that case, fair. Thank you. I knew you would make sense.
Printed on both sides of the paper.
They have double printing here.
No margins.
I literally, like, I knew you would have a good witty comeback for that. But I was like, I've printed like manuscripts that are longer than that. Like, come on.
100.
Come on.
Like, I used to write literal plans for people's lives that were bigger than that. Back when I worked with adults with disabilities, like that paperwork's ridiculous. Anyway.
So then, he ends up in the lobby of this place, and he's about to go before a quorum, and there's this video that plays with Miss Minutes on it. Did you recognize the voice for Miss Minutes?
I did not.
Okay, it's Tara Strong.
Oh, of course it is.
I thought it was gonna be someone else though, because I was like, I've heard this voice before. But I guess Tara Strong just like does everything, and subconsciously, I'm like,
literally does. She literally just does do everything. I love the little cartoon because also, I mean, just like for Loki, give me something simple for me to watch to understand what it is that you want, like all the information. Like, could you imagine trying to get all the information from like a character just sitting there talking about it? No, this little cute cartoon that's designed to be like childlike, so that way you can understand. Just like the dinosaurs thing in Jurassic Park. It's like, give me a cartoon to like break down your giant scientific ideas that really kind of don't make sense, but make it a cartoon and sure, I'll buy it. Sounds good.
Sure. No, I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. And I like that. What I like about the cartoon a lot in general, and I'm looking at it as we were speaking, it's setting up a lot for what's coming.
And again, it says Nexus real big, a real big
literally
letter, which we just found out in WandaVision is a pretty big thing.
It's a big thing. And we know that Wanda is going to play a big role in Doctor Strange. And it literally says that everything will go, it will fall into madness and there will be another war, and it shows like the multiverse. So I think Doctor Strange 2 is being set up here again because of that common denominator with the creator and the writer.
I remember something that I wanted to say earlier. So I feel like though this television show will have a very large impact on the MCU as a whole, pardon me, will have a large effect on the MCU as a whole, I feel as though Loki will not. Loki is the character.
Oh, I agree with you.
I feel like Loki is now going to be this person over here. Even if because I don't even know if any of these TV shows are going to get a season 2. I don't think so. I think they're all just like self-contained long movies.
Look, I really enjoyed Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I don't want a season 2. I don't think.
Yeah, because I mean they're making Captain America 4, and so it's going to become.
We don't need it. We don't need it. And I like WandaVision a lot. I would actually like WandaVision season 2, but they have to go there with Wanda. But anyways, I digress.
But like Captain America and the Winter Soldier makes more sense as a 6 episode TV show because that was a lot that needed to get covered to then go do another movie. Like it needed like that mini break of like, here are these little episodes. It's like doing the mini series to relaunch Captain America #1. Like, you know what I mean? Like they needed that little, by little, is longer than a regular movie. Because there was a lot of information and a lot of stuff that needed to be covered. So like that makes sense.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I would not want to interrupt you, but I just read right now that the second season is scheduled to begin filming in January 2022.
What, Captain America?
No, for Loki.
Oh, Loki. Oh,
Sidebar.
So that
anyways, continue.
But that to me says that Loki, even though like what happens in the show is going to be a very big effect on the MCU, Loki's gonna keep over there. He's gonna stay over here.
I agree wholeheartedly. He's dead. He died.
Yeah, he died because I really don't think that having Loki come back and like being with Thor. Like I feel like that part of this particular Loki's life is over. Like he doesn't need to go back to Asgard. He doesn't have a role on Asgard. He doesn't need to be a part of that anymore. He now has another purpose and another journey to go on.
Agreed. But wait, is he in Thor: Love and Thunder? No, he's not, right?
I was gonna say I don't think so.
I don't think he's in Thor: Love and Thunder. I think that's just Natalie Portman. Yeah, so they're getting a season 2, but I agree with exactly what you just said, that this Loki is going to be kept over here, and for all intents and purposes, he died in Endgame. So like the movie audience, if they want to follow along, you can come here, kind of like what they did with Coulson. Can I ask you about the scene that comes after this, which of course he stands before the council, like we see Mobius, but then we get a flashback, or not a flashback, just like the scene changes.
Where he's the Catch Me If You Can guy.
Oh, DB Cooper. No, wait. I want to go back to DB Cooper, which I have been obsessed with DB Cooper because funny enough, I used to be terrified of flying and I used to like Google, I know, and I fly all the time. And I used to Google like plane hijacks and plane crashes. Like that's how I sleep at nighttime. And DB Cooper was one of the biggest mysteries I thought I could solve on my own. Back in like 2015, I thought I could solve this. And now it was fucking Loki this entire time. But not that. It's the scene with Mobius going up to that little girl and she points to the the window.
Yeah.
Stained glass. Why am I forgetting? Oh my god, I'm so drunk right now. Stained glass window? That's what you call them, right?
Yeah, stained glass window.
Okay, stained glass windows. That doesn't sound really sidebar. Like stained glass window. Oh, the devil. Huh?
No, napkin is just another one of those words that sounds stupid.
Oh my god, it does. But she points to the stained glass window of the devil, and Mobius is like, the devil is afraid of us. I was like, there we go, Mephisto.
No, I knew that was a trap. I knew that like immediately. I knew that was a trap.
No, for a second I did. It was only until my second viewing, and then I googled it, and the creators of Loki confirmed that is not Mephisto. That is a reference to Loki because of the horns and everything. Blah blah blah.
But also, the devil has the blue tongue in the thing, and the kid had blue candy that turned their mouth blue.
Yeah, and I guess that's supposed to be like a homage to Loki and his birth and I don't know. But apparently one of the variants of Loki, which I think could be a Lady Loki as well.
So my sort of like guess, because I'm not gonna say theory because I'm not like steadfast on it, and I'm not gonna like get upset if it doesn't become reality. Like,
you're not gonna be a clown.
But I do think it's gonna be Lady Loki because when you look at like the cast list of the show, there are 2 female actresses that are, I'm not going to say like famous, but they're definitely like actresses who have done a lot of things. But they're in quite a few episodes, but they don't have a character name attached to them.
Yep. I agree wholeheartedly.
So I feel one is going to be, so whether or not Lady Loki is the villain of the piece, like the hooded character at the end of the show, I feel like a Lady Loki is going to appear as another variant of Loki.
Sorry. I agree. It's I'm looking here at the cast list, and it's Sophia Di Martino, and she does not have a specific role, and she looks identical to what you would assume.
But also, how many episodes does it say that she's in?
She's going to be in the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the rest of the season.
Yeah. So I mean, and she doesn't have a character name listed. Okay.
No. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Sure. We went down this road already with Zendaya. So
it's like oh, she doesn't have a character name. So also for the new Black Widow movie, I've tried not to look at too much of the promo just because I know that I'm going to go see it anyway, so I'd rather like try to be as surprised as possible. Sidetrack for 1 second. Like I didn't watch anything for when I saw the third Batman movie, the third Christian Bale Batman movie, and so I had no idea who was going to be in it except for Bane. So I'm watching this movie. Oh no! And I also knew that what's her face is in it?
Anne Hathaway,
Catwoman. So it's like okay, so I know that they're in the movie. Cool. So I go to see it with my dad and my brother. Within the first 10 minutes, when Marion Coulthard comes on and she introduced herself with some bullshit name, I was like, oh no, that's Talia al Ghul. Like you.
So you know what I thought, because she was an environmentalist and we had Bane in the movie, I thought potentially she could Poison Ivy, because of course the Batman and Robin, Joel Schumacher.
Well, no, it's also the rule of trilogies where there has to be the callback to the beginning.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh no, that's Talia al Ghul. So like I know that like as a comic book person, like I can potentially like spoil myself by like seeing too much or whatever. So so I saw all the posters for the new Black Widow movie, and I noticed that the Taskmaster does not have an actor attached to them. And so I'm like, oh, so it's either the boyfriend or the sister.
I agree.
Because
I agree.
Because listen, if he's the main villain of the movie, like, but you don't have an actor attached.
It has to. The reveal is going to be someone that's close.
Yeah.
To the character.
The reveal is someone else that you have already been revealed. It's not going to be someone new that we don't know. It's going to be one of these other actors that are already in the mix. I mean, listen, if it's Rachel Weisz, cool, work. I love her too.
I was just thinking it could be her, but
I mean, you know what I mean? Like when you have stuff like that and like marketing, so I know you don't want to give away anything because that's, you know, the reveal of the movie, but it's like, you know, if you don't have someone listed, it's like, well, duh.
Abby. I agree wholeheartedly with you, and I think I'm dying for Black Widow. I thought Falcon and the Winter Soldier would tie into Black Widow somehow. I thought Yelena was going to show up, but I don't want to get into spoiler territory just yet because I think we will cover Black Widow. Maybe we'll have to have you come back. Oh my God, you in a Natasha suit.
So this is another side story.
Listeners know who I booked. Go do as many side stories as you need to. I'm just getting drunk on wine.
I love Natasha, and there are two looks that I want to do. The first one is like her original like 70s with like the big hair and the black, you know, the black suit. But that's Dax's widow that she did. And we talked about this when we did our last episode together. It's like, it's not that like someone's claimed it and so I can't do it. It's just, well, that was done and it was done really well.
And I love what you guys said. That's actually funny. That quote you guys said occupies rent-free space in my head because you guys are like, someone else did it way better. I'm not going to touch it.
Yeah. It's not like I won't ever do that or, you know, whatever. It's just, I don't feel the need to do that because if you want to see that, it's right. It's over here. It's Daxclamation on Instagram. Like, you know what I mean?
I feel the same way about podcasting and IG pages. And yet some people do not feel that way at all. And they still swipe. But anyways. That's me being salty.
But the other look is like her 1990s look with like the short mom hair and like the high collar and like
and the gray suit.
And like it's cute, but I'm also not like in a rush to like do that because I have so many other cute things planned for this year. So I'm just kind of like, she'll come eventually, but I'm not stressed about it. So like I'm not gonna, so also, and I wouldn't do the white suit that she wears in the movie because my homegirl Baby Bell Bell, who lives in Toronto, fucking did an amazing job.
Oh, I haven't seen it. What is their Instagram handle?
baby_BEL_BEL.
All right, listeners, go check that out.
Yes, Baby Bell. First of all, if you guys enjoy me and like the kind of drag that I do, you should go follow Baby Bell Bell. She is incredible. She does a great Jean Grey. She does Natasha and she does Wanda. So she was in Dax and I's WandaVision video. She was the one at the end who like had her action figures.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So Baby Bell Bell, they had a whole like drag Canadian Avengers thing because you know there's the whole like Avengers Museum in Toronto. So they all went and like filmed there and stuff. Anyway, she's a delight. Please go follow her. So also while I'm talking about Canadian drag queens, might be potential spoilers. And I don't know, this is not confirmed or denied. All I know is my dear friend Tay Bobo, who is the drag daughter of Scarlett Bobo, who made it to top 3 in Canadian Drag Race season 1. So Tay was supposed to be in my show this Friday, and I have not heard from her in maybe like a month and a half, or maybe 2 months. Canada Drag Race season 2 is filming right now. She has not been on social media since her birthday.
Interesting.
Just saying. I hope she's on, and I hope she's winning, because that bitch is amazing. Go follow Tay Bobo as well. She's also she does cosplay looks. Over quarantine, she did like trios. So like she did like Teen Titans, and she did the Gotham City Sirens. She did Avengers looks where she did like Carol, Wasp. She did this cute Wasp look. But anyway, I love Tay Bobo. Go follow her.
I love that you're kind of giving us like the rumor mill right here, like kind of like the scoop.
I mean, and she is rumored to be on it as well, on like, you know, the blogs and stuff. But yeah, so like I like messaged her a while ago, just like check in and be like, hey girl, I haven't seen you like on social, because like she and I have very similar opinions about a lot of things. So like on socials, like we're like, especially like on Twitter, it's like yes, like comment threads of stuff of us talking. So like
I came to the
realization that I was like, where are you? Like, where have you been? She literally hasn't posted on Instagram since her birthday show.
Okay.
Which was in like May.
Okay.
So like, just saying.
Ya tú sabes.
You may have heard it here first. I mean, not here first, because obviously other blogs have said that too. Just a rumor. I don't know.
No, but we got it directly from Lady Loki's mouth. So.
I hope she's on, and I hope she does well.
Yes.
If not, I hope she's okay. If she's not on the show, I hope she's all right.
Oh my god!
But yeah, she hasn't messaged me back.
Queen, we hope you're doing well.
Yes. Again, I love Tay Bobo. Go follow her. So when
Tay Bobo
social media, she'll have a whole bunch of new followers.
So the only thing I want to say about Loki before we continue our conversation is that they did start filming pre-pandemic. Like I think it was like January 2020. They had to stop, and now they're back. And I'm hoping they kind of learned as WandaVision was unfolding what they need to do and what they don't need to do. So that's why I think, to go back to what we were talking about, like 10 minutes ago. I hope that's why they're planting seeds for the multiverse, for Doctor Strange 2, because we expected that in WandaVision, didn't get. And by the way, I don't fault WandaVision for not having that. I get it. It's a TV show. It's one of the first for the Disney Plus. They're gonna be contained, but I think Marvel is learning. People want to see what's happening here in the movies.
Yeah, but also I don't think that because it was the first one, it wasn't planned to be the first one, that how rabid people were for that Marvel content, and people like got sucked into it, and like the fan theories got out of control because of the nature of the show. And I think that because the fan theories got out of control, that Marvel didn't know that people were going to be like, well, how come she didn't break the multiverse? And like, because that wasn't the plan. Like the plan was for Loki to do it. We're just not there yet. Like,
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how production works, but the only thing I will say is that like I feel for Falcon, the Winter Soldier, and WandaVision, which I'm assuming was able to get their production, everything done, because I think WandaVision was almost done, like 90% done until the pandemic. I know the scenes with Catherine Hahn as Agatha were filmed post, but I feel like their idea was this is just weekly content, and if we want to see like the story push forward, you're going to have to check the movies. Now I think they're probably seeing that like, no shit, people want to see everything connected in a meaningful way, and I think Loki benefited from that.
Well, and the thing is, there's definitely more of a connection in these than like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which was promised was going to be like the same thing, totally connected, blah, 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 and then it wasn't.
I'm so glad you just mentioned that, because we obviously see Coulson dying, and it's not mentioned that he's resurrected. Do you think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is still in continuity, or do you think it's...
I think until Agent Coulson shows up in another MCU movie, I don't think it is. I don't think we can take it as canon. I don't think we can take any of the TV shows as canon. I don't think we can take, definitely not Inhumans. Ugh. Definitely not.
Girl, and you paid for a movie theater ticket for that.
I'm still mad. Marvel, how about this? Marvel, you can pay me back by buying me a Medusa wig.
Yes, girl, and that was an IMAX, if I remember
I
correctly.
am aware. I'm so
Girl, you paid
mad.
for an IMAX ticket for that shit.
I did. I'm so pissed off.
I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for your friends.
Literally, I said on the last. The movie ended, and I looked at her. I'm sorry. But like, definitely not Inhumans. I don't think any of like the Netflix shows can be considered canon.
Which breaks my heart. Although, obviously, Daredevil is rumored to be appearing in Spider-Man 3.
Who isn't rumored to be appearing in Spider-Man 3?
All right, listen, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you're right. You're right.
But here's the thing. Just like we saw with Quicksilver, just because they got the same actor to play the same character doesn't mean that it's the exact character.
Here's the thing.
Just be Matt Murdock.
Here's the thing that I'm just gonna say. I agree with everything you just said. I hope Kevin Feige, who does listen and learns, from everything that's said on the internet, I hope he'll see that like the Quicksilver subplot in WandaVision was shit. No one was happy with it.
No.
I hope he's gonna be like course correcting that. You cannot book Charlie Cox for something in the MCU and not have him be Matt Murdock, because he was a perfect Matt Murdock and people love Daredevil. So while I agree with you, he could play anyone and maybe is playing another character. Marvel.
I mean, he could literally be playing Matt Murdock, but that doesn't mean that he's the Matt Murdock that was in the Netflix TV show.
You're right. A different timeline, which I'm fine with. I'm wholeheartedly fine with. So in the episode in Loki, we find out that he was DB Cooper, as we talked about. And then it kind of goes through his life and we see him, what we saw post. Oh my God, I'm totally forgetting what he was in Avengers. I'm sorry. This is the 2012 Avengers. We see his life post that. And he sees his mom die. He sees his dad die. And he has that same reaction from Ragnarok, where it's like, oh, my sons. And he like kind of inhales that. Do you think now this makes him, for all intents and purposes, like the Loki Prime? I mean, I guess it does. But
no.
Imbued with the memories. He literally just downloaded all the memories, as we mentioned.
No, he's still not Loki Prime because he didn't download the memories. He watched like the Cliff's Notes movie reel. Like he still didn't emotionally experience any of those things. And as we know, like life is all about experience and like how it is that you deal with those emotions. Like getting all of that condensed into like 5 minutes of like the Cliff's Notes version of this could have been your life. That doesn't mean that he's learned any of his lessons. That doesn't mean that he feels any remorse for any of the things that he literally just did.
That's fair.
No, I don't think that makes him really any closer to the Loki that died in Endgame. I think it puts him more towards a heroic journey that, as someone who studied Joseph Campbell in college, like I think that like moves him towards that sort of ideal and that basis that we're all used to seeing in like television and movies. But I think it's going to be a different journey for him, and I hope that he gets to still remain a dick, because he is.
We love him being a dick. Wait, one of the things I do want to ask you about, because this was big and the internet kind of like blew up about it. The Infinity Stones.
Oh my God, that shit was hilarious.
Paperweights. Like the memes of Natasha dying for a paperweight. What? Like, what?
I mean, so in the moment, like that was hilarious, being like, oh, well, yeah, because this is like outside of all of that. Like it doesn't, like none of that stuff like matters. Like it's all keeping it in the thing. But it's like, well, in order in the universe, in the thing, like you still have to, someone has to die in order to get the Soul Stone. And yeah, outside of that universe, which the TVA is, that doesn't have the same effect. Now, granted, would have been cooler of the TVA, and by cooler I mean like wouldn't they have been better people If it had been like, hey, do you guys need a soul stone? We got like 6 over here.
Well, especially because they mentioned like the Avengers traveling through time and resetting time was part of the plan.
Well, but it's part of the plan because it's like the self-sacrifice, again, their journey, their experience, their stuff. It's like it's it's like cheating, like, because also we have to think about these, as I said before, the people who live in the TVA probably still aren't people. Like they're not.
No,
like,
they're not.
Like their whole life experience has been outside, and all their entire job and journey is to do nothing but maintain the journey. So like, yeah, they're not going to feel bad about the fact that he's got 6 soul stones in his desk drawer when Natasha had to go jump off a fucking cliff in order for them to get it. Like, he's not, because also he still doesn't know what a fish is.
Okay, wait. So he has all the memories. He tries to.
He doesn't have the memories. He saw a video.
He saw the memories.
He saw, he didn't, because he didn't see everything. He saw like the highlight memory reel.
Like, he saw the highlight memory reel. He saw how his life was going to end.
Yeah. So he saw like some important events, and then he saw himself die. Mm-hmm. So yeah. But he. Again,
and that changed him.
Yeah.
How would you feel if you saw how you would die right now?
I mean,
how do you think you would die?
Right. But like, it's still the reason I want to like be correct about like he didn't like doubt, he doesn't have all the memories, because he doesn't have that lived experience. He doesn't have any of that sort of like development of why why things happen. So like, yeah, seeing it's like
I agree with you, and I'm
reading the Wikipedia article instead of reading the book.
But I agree with you, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I feel that for all intents and purposes, that the producers, director, and creator of the show they're like, now he knows everything that happened in Endgame. He's had that life-changing revelation, and now he's caught up to the Loki we knew who died in Endgame. Does that kind of make sense?
I mean, caught up in the sense that he knows the events, not in the sense that.
And I do think he's going to be duplicitous.
That character arc of that of that person.
Fair. So then he obviously tries to rebel. He finds the Infinity Stones and the paperweights and everything. And then at the end, he sort of comes to Mobius and he's here like, I don't like to hurt people. Mm-hmm. I do that because, and I thought this was beautiful, where he's here like, that's what weaker people do to other people. They try to make them feel bad. They try to conquer him. I actually don't like hurting people. And I'm curious what you thought of that ending.
I mean, it's 100% true. Like, when we were just talking about, anytime, you try to make a bully sympathetic, it's like, well, that's probably because they're being abused at home, or like, it's like, yeah, like people who are abused typically become abusers. Like that's what happens. That's like the vicious cycle that happens. So obviously, yeah, he doesn't like hurting people, but he knows that that's what gets him power, because he feels weak. And how does he not feel weak? By getting power over other people. So like, that's like, that's the vicious cycle with him. Yeah, I mean, it was really, really beautifully explained, and, again, made him more sympathetic. Kind of, and I'm like, well, you still killed like a lot of people, but
I mean, you're still like an awful human being.
You're still like an awful person, but well, but no, yeah, and I did like, I liked the fact that it's like he tried to rebel, he tried to get power over other people because that's what he's used to doing, and then when he realizes that he can't, like he literally can't through any of the means that he's used to gaining power over people, he then just kind of like, I don't want to say give up, I guess like concedes to the idea of, you know what, I'm not getting what I want. The true definition of insanity is trying to get what you want, doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to try a different tactic. Now, do we think he's still being manipulative? Maybe.
Yeah.
Because he's like,
I do think he is, by the way, for the record.
Because he's like, I'm not getting what I want by using the Tesseract or trying to use magic or forcing my way into stuff. So
he saw what would happen if he did this certain path, and now he's here like, how do I get to wherever I want to get?
So how how do I get out of here? They're offering me a way to get out of here, but I have to do something for them first. So let me see if I can do that. But then if another opportunity comes along where I can get out of here, I feel like it's still going to take it.
I agree wholeheartedly. So overall thoughts on the series, where we're going to go with this?
I'm very intrigued. I love a mystery. I love a comic book mystery in particular. I think it'll be interesting to see like what other worlds that they might like visit, because obviously, if they're trying to like fix timelines, I'm wondering if it's going to be something like Sliders, because I loved that show.
Oh my God, I forgot. What's his name?
Jerry O'Connell.
Oh my God, he was in Scream 2. He was Sydney's boyfriend. Yes. Oh my God, that is a deep
And
cut.
he's married to Rebecca Romijn now.
Yeah, after she left John Stamos.
Yeah.
Or whatever happened there. I don't know what the story was.
I think it was like it wasn't like horrible, but also they're not like friends.
Oh.
It's like they're not friends, but it wasn't like super vicious or anything. But anyway, now, so I'm like, is it going to be like Sliders, where like they go to different worlds? We're like, hey, what's different about this one is this, so we have to like fix it before it ends. Or will it be like Exiles, which was very much Sliders, but in comic book form, which was one of my favorite series for a while. I loved Exiles.
We're big fans of Exiles.
I actually, do you know what I would really like if Loki turned into Exiles? Like if it turned into like he gathers.
Well, there's a season 2.
If he starts to gather all of these variants and they become like the new team that needs to maintain the timeline, that would be cool. Would be cool. Again, that's not my theory. I'm not gonna be mad if it doesn't happen. That would just be cool.
Yeah.
Again, I still feel like the hooded figure at the end is Lady Loki.
I agree.
Again, we've got ladies in the cast that don't have characters. Only makes sense. Especially if the antagonist of it is a variant of Loki.
Yeah. Do you think we'll see variants of any other characters?
Like MCU people?
Yeah, or maybe like, I think one of the rumors I saw was Thor. We saw Frog Thor on a lot of fan accounts.
I guess Thor is currently filming, so like, if he had a spare minute to film a cameo, sure. But I don't think that they're gonna I don't think Chris Evans is gonna show up. I don't think I don't think Scarlett Johansson's gonna show up. Like, you know what I mean? Like if it's someone like the guy who got caught playing like Tetris on like the carrier, like, if it's someone like that, or someone like Colby Smulders, like, you know what I mean, where it's like you're not going to break the bank to get her to come in to be on set for a day.
Colby,
like, she's super cute. I love
Maria Hill is going to be blowing up Loki. No, but I agree with you. I mean, we saw it with Darcy, in WandaVision.
Yeah. Like people like that, I would think would be, could be a thing, would be interesting to have show up.
But I think the only reason why I think we could get like a Chris Hemsworth cameo is because a lot of people were expecting that for WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And again, I think Marvel does learn from their past mistakes. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm not saying that's going to happen now with Loki, but I think future MCU Disney Plus shows, I think they will have those A-listers attached to it in cameo roles because people are expecting it, because people love finding a puzzle piece that fits into a larger issue. You know what I mean? Or larger
to me, I'm like,
drunk right
they already have part of the A-lister who's the star of the show, which is
right. You're absolutely right.
Or Sam Wilson and Bucky and
Sebastian
Loki. Like,
and
you already have the A-lister. Like, we don't need. I don't need. Listen, I can see Chris Evans anytime, anywhere.
Here's the thing. Chris Evans also is a variant because he's living in an alternate timeline.
So I just recently saw a TikTok about this. Because I
not
do love
on TikTok. I'm sorry.
I am. Although I'm not at all viral. Like, I guess whatever I do, people just don't give a shit about, which is
we're gonna make you viral. Girl, you are viral.
Rude. But her name is J Stubes is the TikTok person. So she's a comic book person. She talks about comics. She talks about film, all that kind of stuff. She's great. She also has a great makeup skills. She does fun eye makeup, which is cool. But she was talking about how if the timekeepers are trying to keep this golden timeline together, that means that there is not a variant Captain America, and that Captain America is always meant to go back in time and live at the same time.
Fair. I was thinking that maybe they're the ones who ushered in that scene at the end of Endgame where he passes on the shield.
Or are they the people who came to him to say, okay, we're gonna let you live here?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
But you can't do anything. You can't go back into war. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't join Shield. You have to stay at home and raise your non-children.
Well, I guess we're gonna find out, and I'm really excited for it. Demanda, where can people see you next? I know you mentioned some of the shows.
Because it's June and it's Pride Month. I have lots of things going on. So, as I said, as part of the virtual Comic-Con hosted by that Shady Squad, Dax and I are hosting a virtual show. It is going to be Friday, this Friday, the 18th at 8 p.m. The link will be posted from the official Con Queens YouTube channel. So Con Queens, CONQWEENS on YouTube. So that will go live at 8 p.m. And of course, then we'll share it to the virtual Comic-Con and then obviously just everywhere on social media. We have 12 music performances. So they are a mix of our con queens, our drag performers that cosplay, as well as people from the Eleanor Studio Cabaret, which is the cabaret that I host. So all cosplays, fun stuff. So we have some live singing. We have some drag music videos. The premiere of my new Jean Grey video will be at that show. So it's going to be amazing. So please tune into that. Then this Saturday, the 19th, if you are in the DC area, I will be attending Reston Pride in person. I will have a booth. Dax Exclamation Point will be joining me, as well as my sister Charlemagne Chateau and Tiffany D. Carter. We'll have some merch. We're going to be partying. I will also be singing with the Reston Players. I have a song to sing, so that should be fun on Saturday. Then for some other shows on Saturday, the 26th of June, I'm going to be performing at the Baltimore Eagle with Bombalicious. I can never pronounce her last name, but Bamba booked me for the Baltimore Eagle on the 26th. And then Monday, the 28th, you can catch me at Tallboy as Lady Loki and Jean Grey for that. Oh, and I forgot, Friday the 25th of June, I'm a part of the We Three Queens forward show, Pride Edition. So I have two segments. One, I did submit my Dazzler music video to them, but also I did a fun educational video for them about queer representation in comics.
You have an insane schedule.
Bro, my spreadsheet is busy.
Girl, that spreadsheet. I hope you backed it up. Oh my God. I love that.
That is where you can catch me for now.
And what about online? Where can people find you on Instagram,
you can find me
Twitter?
Any social media at DMANDAMARTINI. Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Venmo, Cash App. I have a Redbubble merch store you can find on there. We've been taking a little hiatus from Rusty Gayas Art. Jay Justice and I have just had crazy schedules, and we just have not been able to meet up, but we're hopefully going to pick that up again soon. And yeah, if you're in the DC area or not, and you're going to come to BlurredCon, please come up to me and say hi. I don't know how I feel about hugs with strangers yet, but definitely come talk to me. I would love to see you. I will be at Dax Exclamation Point's booth.
Yes. Oh my God. I'm dying to meet you, IRL. As I told you, I've met a couple people from our community, and the one person we always talk about is you. So I cannot wait to maybe give you a fist pump. I mean, I don't know what I would do if I saw you IRL. I literally would die.
So,
I think I would scream if I saw you.
so I mean, people have obviously seen it on my social medias if you follow me. The looks that I'll be doing. So if you come see me at BlurredCon, again, I don't know what I'm gonna wear on Thursday yet. We'll probably Dax and I just probably will wear our X-Men training suits just to be like casual. On the Thursday night because it's technically before the convention starts. But Friday we are going to be from Batman the Animated Series, Catwoman and Red Claw.
Yes.
Saturday we are premiering in real life, in person, fully completed looks, X-Force from 1990s, Feral and Boomer.
Oh my God, your Boomer is flawless.
So I mean, I'm having the shoulder pads made. It's gonna be flawless. And then on Sunday, we are going to be the Madam Hydras. Dax will be Viper, and I'm going to be the one and only Julie Louis-Dreyfus, Val, but when she gets the squid on top of her head.
Yes!
Comic books. So I will have a full squid on my head.
Ya tú sabes. Ya tú sabes. How are you even making that? How is one making that?
I call Jason and I say,
Nerd alert, Jason.
No, my Jason.
Oh, you're Jason. Sorry, Jane.
Yeah.
Sorry, you call Jason.
And I just say, hey, I want to put a squid on my head. And he's like, okay, we'll figure that out. Yeah, so he's currently furiously editing my Jean Grey video together because we just filmed it this past Saturday. Long story, the spreadsheet didn't work. We had difficulties, but he's getting that video done. And then after that, BlurredCon, here we come. So we got a month.
Wait. Oh my God. I really want to try to make it to BlurredCon.
I would die. It would be fun.
I would die too. But thank you for joining us tonight.
Yes,
you know how much I love you.
I always love coming here. And I mean, I'll see you again on Thursday.
I was about to say, I think we may be seeing each other again in a couple nights, and it's going to be for a very special surprise with two very special guests.
Yes. Those boys are so cute.
Oh my God, I can go on and on about those boys, but we will do that IRL, not IRL, like Zoom IRL on Thursday. So, listeners, thank you. As always, I am the Uncanny Day Spring signing off. Yes! Oh my God. Oh my God. So, funny story.
We talked about DC Comics.
DC Comics. Hang on, I'm getting my Thanos glove so we can take a photo with the Cosmic Cube and my Infinity Gauntlet. I had lunch with my.
I have my Infinity Gauntlet downstairs.
Oh, get that. Oh, yeah.
No, that's downstairs. I'm not doing that.
Don't do that.
That's a whole journey.
I had lunch with my agent when I was in LA, my literary agent, who's like, "Oh, I see you're doing the podcast, and I see that like you have something going on there. Can I just make a note for you? What was that episode that you did that was like as long as Titanic?" And he's here like, try to keep them to like 55 minutes or something like that. I was like, bitch, like, no, you know me. Hang on, let me stop recording here.